My name's Alan Bookoff, and this is my wife Janice. And what we're doing this summer is we're making, we love homemade ice cream. Or I love homemade ice cream. Do you love homemade ice cream?
Sure.
She's lukewarm, sure. But I love homemade ice cream. Used to crank it in the basement when I was a kid, you know, the parents with the old hand crank thing and all that. And my wife bought me this wonderful home in the kitchen ice cream maker a couple years ago, and we've had a bunch of great plain homemade vanilla ice cream. And this summer we're going to try to make chocolate ice cream, and we're going to try a bunch of different recipes and try to find out what's the best recipe. We're going to start with Ben's Chocolate. This is from the book Ben and Jerry's Chocolate Ice Cream and Dessert book, and we're going to start with Ben's Chocolate. That's the first one we're going to make here. And it says Ben's chocolate ice cream is about as rich as they come. The pinch of salt helps to bring out the chocolate flavor. Step 1. Melt the unsweetened chocolate in the top of a double boiler over hot, not boiling water. Gradually whisk in the milk and heat, stirring constantly until smooth. Remove from heat and let cool. So first we're going to have 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate and 1 cup of milk. Okay, so here we are starting to melt the chocolate, and for chocolate we're using 4 ounces of Scharfenberger chocolate, 99% cacao, cocoa, pure dark chocolate, perfect for baking, unsweetened. Looks like it cost about $9.60. And it's slowly melting over here, and we're going to whisk in the milk. And in the meantime, we set up over here at this other staging area, we've set up the eggs, cream, sugar, vanilla, salt mixture that we're going to be whipping together. And then after the chocolate and milk mixture cools, we'll mix these two together, cool them, and then make the ice cream. Okay, now let's take the creamy chocolate and milk mixture and start blending it in with the cream, sugar, and egg mixture. Okay, it's starting to look chocolatey. This is cooled now for an hour and a half. The ice cream mixture, the chocolate ice cream mixture, my first time to ever make anything other than vanilla homemade ice cream. Chocolate ice cream, Ben's recipe of Ben and Jerry. And now we're going to make it in this wonderful homemade ice cream maker that my wife bought for me, how many years ago? 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Many years ago. It's a Krups La Glacerie model number 337. And what's great is it eliminates all the need for pounding ice and rock salt that of my youth of making homemade ice cream. This thing you put in the freezer and it freezes, and it keeps the whole thing cold, and this thing spins it around the ladle, and makes the ice cream. So let's just put it on there and start it up. Okay, so let's turn this on. Okay, the bowl is spinning around now and the ladle's fixed. Now we're going to pour this in the top, and then we'll come back in like a half an hour and see how it's doing. Okay, here we are the next day, Saturday afternoon, late Saturday afternoon, scooping up some of our homemade chocolate ice cream. The first time we've ever made homemade chocolate ice cream. Janice and I are going to taste it and give our initial reactions. Again, this is the Ben version, the Ben recipe. Okay, here I go. I'm going to take a spoonful here. Just like before it was frozen, it was very chocolatey. It's almost like too chocolatey, and it's lost, it doesn't have that, maybe it's the vanilla, but it doesn't have that homemade ice cream taste. It's good. It's really good chocolate. I'll have some more. Okay. Now Janice is going to have some and tell us what you think about its mouthfeel and everything. She's liking it.
I think it's really, really good. I think it's really smooth. It's really dense. The chocolate flavor is really dense. I think it tastes, I don't know if it tastes homemade, but it tastes special. It tastes different than Haagen-Dazs or any sort of
I
premium.
was going to say it doesn't. It's too smooth for me. I wish it had more of a texture like Haagen-Dazs. I wish it had more of a gritty, you know, icier, creamier texture or something. And
Oh, it just tastes delicious.
you seem to be having quite a bit.
You should turn that off now.
Last time we made Ben's chocolate, which Janice just loved, and I thought was a little too dark and also didn't taste like homemade ice cream. This time we've made, and we're now going to sample Jerry's chocolate. So we've done Ben's chocolate, now we're going to do Jerry's chocolate. The difference, primary difference in the recipes are that Jerry's chocolate has less dark chocolate in it and more cocoa. So we're going to try this now, and both of us are going to give you our description. Watch Janice eat it and tell us what she thinks.
Wow.
Well, I was cutting that one for you,
Oh, is that
actually.
for me? Okay. Then I'll go for it. Although that's huge. Here.
What do you think? It looks different? Is it lighter?
No, I think the color looks the same. It's definitely different.
In what way? Which do you like better?
I might like this better. I love
Really?
the other.
Yeah, we fed some to your aunt. She said she thought it was the best chocolate ice cream she'd ever had.
The texture of this is different. The chocolate is different. It's still really rich. You're the one, though, who assesses the fact that this doesn't taste like homemade ice cream or whatever, so that will be interesting.
But that doesn't bother you.
No, because I'm not, that isn't something I'm looking for. But, so it's your turn now before I eat this whole bowl.
Okay. I am getting tired of watching you eat the ice cream. Okay, let me dig out. It looks lighter brown to me. I swear the other was darker, but who knows. There's a big chunk. I got some on my nose. This doesn't taste as dark to me. I taste more of a cocoa powder in it. It's still just a little bitter. It's more bitter than milk chocolate.
But is it closer to what you want?
No, well, there's two things I'm looking for now. Well, I think I've almost given up on that somehow this will taste like vanilla homemade ice cream. I'm pretty sure that adding a strong flavor like chocolate overwhelms whatever it is that's distinctive about homemade ice cream. And but the other thing I'm looking for is a chocolate that's made, tastes more like the Haagen-Dazs that I admire so much. And this is getting closer. I think this is closer than the other. This is the third type of homemade chocolate ice cream we've attempted. And what I did is I modified a Ben & Jerry's recipe. I took the recipe called Ben's Chocolate, which we made in our first chocolate attempt, which was a very rich dark chocolate ice cream. And instead of using unsweetened chocolate, I use Ghirardelli milk chocolate, 4 ounces of that. And the basic recipe is 4 ounces of chocolate, 1 cup milk, 2 large eggs, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup heavier whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 pinch of salt.
It's definitely different. I mean, it's just as good. I mean, if I'd never had the others, I would think this is totally awesome.
Yeah, but isn't it quite a bit different? Doesn't the milk chocolate taste quite a bit different than the dark chocolate ice cream? I mean, would you...
Well, like I said when I first tasted it, that all three tastes were gourmet to me. They don't necessarily taste homemade. I mean, that's the pleasant surprise. I know you were looking for a more homemade ice cream taste, but they all taste really deliciously gourmet.
So the texture's fine, and even though you're a dark chocolate girl, this milk chocolate is good for you.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. It was more like Dairy Queen. And that's sort of what I was going for, is more of the kind of Dairy Queen malty chocolate, milk chocolate. I think it's great.